Here is just another quick rundown of some of the things that you can do within MyFitnessPal using your phone specifically. Now, a lot of this you can do, you can't scan from your computer, but everything else you could do on the computer as well. But this is all recorded from using the phone. So I'm going to go through and show you several different things here. I have my notes to make sure I am touching on the right things. First of all, you're going to open it up just like you would any other day. And we've already discussed how to go through and add food, typing it in, searching, using your history. So that's going to show up when you go in to click add food. And then you just, again, you type in whatever you want, search, search for things, or the things that you have entered are going to show, they're going to populate in that history, and you can just select. You can do multi-select and just add as many of them as you want, which makes it very easy to use and to do on the fly. Now, if you have been adding stuff regularly, and you'll see, and now even if you haven't added regularly, you will see that it says to swipe right for to quick add. So it's kind of a quick add of things that you had yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever it was the last time that you added. That is the quick add. Now you can go through and say you made a slight change to what you were eating today versus what you ate yesterday. You can go through and swipe left to delete something that was in that, but it adds everything from the previous day or the last day that was logged. It adds all of that stuff in there, and then you can go in and make adjustments. So again, you should be measuring it all the time, making sure that you're using the right or know exactly how much you're getting. So maybe you had 56 ounces, or not ounces, sorry, 56 grams of egg whites yesterday, and today you only had 42. So you quick add it over, and then you just go in and adjust your 56 to 42, for example. Or I didn't put egg whites in it today, so I take the egg whites off, but everything else was the same. So it's a very easy way to go in and do that quick add of food. Then, if you want to make changes, or maybe again you did addition, maybe you didn't do egg whites yesterday and today you are adding egg whites or something along those lines, you can go in and click on the scan barcode. It'll open up your camera, so you may have to allow permissions for your camera to be used. It'll open up the camera, you scan the barcode, and it puts in the information based on what's on that nutritional, the information on the nutritional panel. And then again, you go in just like you would any other thing, adjust how much serving you had, and click the check mark, and it enters it into your food log. And then you just continue doing that with however many other things you're adding in to the meal that you've quick added. And the same thing, even if you are just starting from scratch, scanning the barcode, put it in there, adjust the amount of serving that the serving amount that you had, and then you are good to go. So it's a very easy way if you're using anything that has a barcode, your grains, canned stuff like that. It's a very easy way to get the stuff in there without having to search it all. So I highly recommend using that part of it. Now, the next thing you can do is adding, again, from your history. I talked about this a little bit already. It's just to scroll down. Whatever you have put, you have logged previously is going to show up in that history, and you can change it to show only what you've had history for breakfast, only what your history for lunch, whatever, or just all of the history. I leave it all of the history. And then you just find it in there, add it, same thing as before, change your servings. So you always want to make sure whatever you do, check your servings. If your servings are not exactly the same as you have used previously, change the servings to match up for the day. We're going to try, I'm going to show you how to go in and do a ad from a previous date. So let's say it's not yesterday's meal, but it was Monday's meal that you are having again. Maybe it's leftovers, maybe you're just making it all over again. So you'll see there's 3 little dots to the right side of the screen. You're going to click on those 3 little dots. It's going to pop up this little option. It's say copy from date. You click on what date you want to copy from and add it. Everything's good to go. Again, super, super simple for adding things that way. And there's a couple other little options in there. Play around with it, figure out how you want to do, how you want to add your foods. if you have something with with the nutritional information that's maybe not within the system for whatever reason, for example, I had smoky Alaskan salmon bites from ButcherBox. They weren't in there. It was something new from ButcherBox, so of course it had not been entered by me or anybody else, I assume, at this point. So I went in, I clicked the add food just like I would any other time I'm adding food to my food log, and then you'll see at the top it says My Food. You're going to click on My Foods. That's going to populate anything that you have currently or you have already added, as well as give you the option to create a food. Now again, this is something if you have something that's not in the system, but you have the nutritional information for. Now that's not a recipe, this is a specific food. So I've done this before with a thing of beets that I got from the grocery store. I scanned the barcode, whatever, maybe it was new, and the barcode information had not been populated. So if you can't get the barcode to scan, or again, something like these salmon bites from ButcherBox that are not in there, you can go through and create the food yourself so that you have it to go back to and you don't have to re-enter the information every time. You can do a quick add and just put the macros in, but it's just easier to make it create a food if it's something you're going to eat regularly. So you'll see it opens up, create food, a brand name. It's optional. It says optional on there. You don't have to put it in. I usually do. Description. So what is the food? What are the serving sizes? And the servings per container. And then it'll take you to, after you enter all that stuff, it's going to take you over to entering all of the nutritional information, the calories, the fat, the carbs. You can go as detailed as the cholesterol and sodium and all that stuff if it's on there. Again, if those are important for you to track, put them in there. If it's not important for you to track all of that stuff, I usually focus on the calories, the carbs, the fat, the protein, and the added sugar, because I think added sugar is a very important one to keep in mind. So once you get through and you've added all of the stuff in, all of the nutritional information in, you just go up to the top, you click that little check at the top, and it opens it up. You can add it to your diary. Now next I want to show you recipes. So there's two different things you can do here with recipes. I haven't done everything in here obviously, but there's two things you can do. One is to import a recipe from a website. So if you are like me, a Pinterest crazed person, and you love to look up recipes on Pinterest and get ideas, you can use if it's a good web page and they've posted out the recipe properly, you can import it directly from that website instead of having to go through and add each thing individually. So have your link ready. You're going to copy the link for that web page. You can see that I'm doing this here. This is some scones my daughter wanted to make. So you copy the link, you go back into the app, you add the link to that top bar in the app, and click enter. It's going to search it. It's going to pull it up. It shows the website there. Import recipe. It pulls in all of the ingredients. Now you have options here. Maybe you're getting your idea from this, but maybe I'm not putting chocolate chips in it, and I'm going to take the chocolate chips out and I'm going to put blueberries instead. Or, like I'm taking out maple sugar and only saying coconut sugar. So you can go through and adjust the recipe on there to be exactly what you are going to use. Maybe you use a little less of something, a little more of something as you're doing the recipe. Get the ingredients correct, the way that you want them to be, and then you're going to click the little arrow, and that's going to go in and kind of import the ingredients in kind of in the same form as when you're adding to your diary. Then you just match them up. Maybe, the brand that you specifically use is not the one that's showing there, and you change it to be a different brand. Maybe you're perfectly fine with what it is. It creates the thing for you. It's going to, you put in your serving size, obviously. It's going to calculate the calories and all that stuff for you. Save it and log it, or just save it if it's not something you're actually logging for the day. Same thing again, if you log it, it's going to ask you for your serving size. Your other option is going to be adding your own recipe. So I'm putting in a chili here because I make chili a lot. I don't really follow a specific recipe, but I know exactly what ingredients I use. So just real quick, you type in your name, whatever that name's going to be. I call mine the best chili ever. You decide how many serving sizes it is for that batch of chili that you're going to make, and then you put in your ingredients. Now, ingredients here, I'm not putting in serving sizes of anything. You'll see I didn't go through and actually do this, how much ground beef do I use? How much crushed tomatoes? If I was doing the recipe for real, I would have put all of those sizes or measurements in as well. But you enter all your ingredients. Same thing as when you imported it from the web page, it's going to do the same thing. You enter on the ingredients, you click the little arrow, and it's going to take you over to that same page where it's pulled in actual ingredients and the serving sizes are there. So you would adjust them there to be what you actually use in the recipe. And then same thing as before, you're going to enter, or it's already, their serving size is already put in on this one, but you're going to click the little arrow. It's going to give you the recipe with everything populated, your macros. You can save it. You can save it and log it, whichever you prefer, and then it's there in your My Recipes to use at a later date. And you can see I have a few other ones in there that I have entered. Okay, so another option, if you have something that you have, a meal that you have had one day that's maybe not a recipe, it's not a specific recipe that you've created or that you've gotten from a website, it's just something you threw together and you liked it and you know you're going to have it more often, you can save it as a meal to make it a quick, easy add. So for example, I had a tomato bone broth with kale, peppers, and a little extra bone broth added to it. And it was really delicious, and it's something I know I will be eating again. So rather than every time I do it, I have to go in and select each of the items, I can just go in to where I created, or where I had the meal the other day, and I click the three little dots, and it's going to come up with that menu, and I'm going to say save as meal. So it's everything that's in that meal. It's going to save those all together as one. I name it whatever I want to name it. I can make it public. I can keep it, private for myself. It's already got the total calories and macros in there for me. I click save, and now I have this meal in there ready to use anytime I decide to make it. And again, you can always go in and adjust the serving sizes. If maybe I use a little more kale, or maybe I use spinach next time instead of kale, I can go in and adjust that once I've logged it. But it's just a quick, easy way to take something that you eat regularly and add it in rather than having to go back and find the last time you ate it and copy from date. So again, these are all just different ways to log food that you find what works the best for you, what's going to make it the easiest for you to log, because consistency is the key. If you're doing it regularly, one, it's much more information for you to be looking on at, studying the science of you with your eating. But it's just when it's convenient and easy, it's something you're going to do regularly. And that's it. That's all I wanted to show you. There's other things that you can do within here, but I just wanted you to see how you go in and use some of the other features, some of the quick ads and creating meals and my foods and things like that. If you have specific questions, feel free to comment below this post or just make a post and ask, and I'd be happy to help you. I'd be happy to do more screen recordings. They're very easy. And I hope you have an amazing day and you're doing an awesome job keeping track of your stuff. Make sure you're posting, because that's the only way that the coaches can give you feedback and help you improve and grow through this challenge. And I will see you next time. Bye.